Hello and welcome to Trading 5 Talents. In today's video, I want to give an update about my portfolio for the month of February 2022. So as you can see here in this monthly candlestick chart, this is the DIA, the ETF tracking the Dow Jones Industrial. January, big red candle. February, another big red candle, long wicks all the way down. And as you can see, March is also red so far. So February, not a good month in the Dow. If we look at the other ETFs, let's look at SPY. You can see again, red candle January, red candle February. Although the body is not as big, the wick still goes down quite extensively. And again, March is red so far. And then the Qs, NASDAQ down in January, down in February, down in March, long red candles down here. So how did my portfolio do for the month of February? Unfortunately, it did not do very well, and it actually had major losses, even more so than January. And so here's what it looked like. Here's my 2022 trading dashboard. You can see January, red month, negative 7,948. February, a whopping negative $16,039. Now, why was it so red? Well, the main reason it was red is because I exited some losing trades. Not because the wheel trades in the month of February were bad. In fact, I was actually up 2% all the way up until the last week of February, and that's when I decided to exit some trades that I had just been bag holding, and that amounted to that huge loss right there. So what were these trades? Well, let's go into the trade log and I'll show you for, let's go to the month just of February. So if you don't have one of these trade logs that I made, there's a link in the description. You can download it. I think the current version is 3.5. So it'd be very similar to what you see here. So let's look at these. Let's look over here at the total profit and loss. So here are all these negative numbers right here. These were all from stocks that I was holding, the main culprit being BlackBerry and RIOT. So those are the two holdings that I sold off in the month of February, and it had a loss, combined loss of 16,000. So everything else was pretty green throughout the month, but it was just those stocks that was holding everything down. So what did we do with those stocks? In order for me to set the filter, I need to zoom back out. For some reason, it's not letting me see all of them. So clear everything, look at BlackBerry only. And this is what I have for the month of February, negative 2,223. So I had 300 shares of BlackBerry, and I sold off all of them. Some in the early part of the month, but the majority of it at the end of the month, again, totaling about $2,223 in losses. So that was my final loss in February for this ticker. But if we look overall, and we get everything here for BlackBerry. Let me show you. Whoops. Let me show you here. So the total loss in BlackBerry was, for the year, was negative 2,373. So I lost a majority of it in February, but there were still some losses early on. So how much have I made with BlackBerry? Well, let's put this in the calculator first of all. So this is 2373, and then let's come back over here and we'll take a look at last year. All right, so here in 2021, you can see I made a total of 32,000. And if we just look at BlackBerry for 2021, I made $1,356.40. So let's take 1356 and we will subtract the, what was it, 2373? Yeah, 2373. So overall, the last 2 years, I've lost only $1,000 on BlackBerry. So it looks much worse just in the month of February because I haven't been reducing my cost basis as I've been selling covered calls or puts on them. So overall, if I factor in all the profits, all the losses together, I've lost $1,000 and $1,017 on BlackBerry. Now, how does that look for RIOT? That was the majority of my loss in February. So we'll come back to 2022 and we will just look at RIOT. right here. So first of all, RIOT in February. RIOT in February lost $14,674. $14,764. You can see all the losses up here of stocks that I sold off at the end of the month, but I also made these in covered calls. So overall for the year in RIOT, I lost $14,457. So how much did I make with this ticker in the past 2 years? Well, let's look at 2021. So in 2021, if we look just at RIOT, we see I made 5,592. 5,592 I made, and we will look at 14,457 as a loss, 14,457. All right, so my total loss on RIOT over the last 2 years is 8,865. But again, February's losses are much more because I took the entire loss in that single month. So that's where I'm standing with BlackBerry and RIOT. I don't have any of these shares. And so the reason I exited these two shares, these two tickers this month is, one, I needed some cash on hand. I needed to sell off some of my positions because just about my entire portfolio was in stock. So the only thing I could really do was sell covered calls, but the market kept going down, as you saw from those early candles at the beginning of the video. So I needed cash on hand, and so I needed to sell off stock. However, I was already selling covered calls on AMC and on Mara, so those were sort of locked in. And in fact, on many of those occasions, I did not have the buying power to actually buy to close those covered calls. So I had to let go of something that I wasn't selling covered calls on at the moment, and that happened to be RIOT and BlackBerry. The other reason I wanted to sell my shares was because not only did I need cash on hand to maintain the margin maintenance level, but I also wanted to start fresh for the next month. As I said, all the way up until the last week of February, I was up 2%. So that was a positive thing, but I was only up 2%. My goal was 6%. I couldn't make my goal. So I wanted to start fresh for the month of March. And so I decided to sell all of those and just take that loss in February where I wasn't going to make my goal anyway. So yeah, it was really bad. It's kind of disheartening to see such a large negative number in my account. And in fact, I felt even worse because of when I sold RIOT. So take a look at this. Right, here's a candlestick chart for RIOT beginning in February. This is the hourly chart. You can see up here. So here is when I sold RIOT. And you're probably going to laugh, but let me put this in here. Oh, I need to get a line right here. Right here, 1375. I don't know if I can make that. So it's going to be 1375. It's at 74 right now, but basically right here is when I sold. I mean, if you look at this chart, this is the worst possible time to have actually sold the stock. It's at pretty much its bottom. And this was after the invasion of Ukraine, beginning this week. The market kept going down, and I really thought it was going to go down even further. So that's why I wanted to get out before it went down even further. I sold in the pre-market. It's probably a bad idea. And you can see I sold way at the bottom. As soon as the market opened, it just shot back up all day. And then over the course of the week and the next few days at least, it just shot up and kept going up. And so obviously I felt very foolish for selling at such an early time and at such a bad time. But hindsight's 2020. I would not have known that this would have happened. I did not predict that would have happened. But as you can see, RIOT is coming back down right now. So I guess I don't feel as bad as I did that particular day and the following days when it kept going up. So that's when I sold, and I sort of laugh at myself because it was pretty much the absolute worst time to actually sell. One advantage, though, I see of getting rid of all my RIOT is, I do have the cash on hand to enter new trades. The second thing, or second advantage I see is I'm going to use this as a loss on my taxes. So I'm not going to touch RIOT. I'm not going to trade options or stocks on it so that I don't incur the wash sale rule. and that I can count this major loss on RIOT and also on BlackBerry on my taxes for this year. Looking back, I'm wondering if I should have done this in December, so I didn't have as many capital gains to be taxed on, but I guess I'm just taking that loss right now early in the year, and maybe I'll enter back in if I can get back in at these prices. Otherwise, I'm not sure. At least I have the cash on hand to make other trades. Another advantage I see from loosening this from my portfolio is that now I have less risk because I'm reducing my exposure to at least this crypto market. So I have shares in Mara. I had a lot of shares in RIOT, and so I feel like I was just overexposed. And by getting rid of them, I feel just a little bit more diversified than I was before. Another advantage I see, and this is probably something you hear all the time from traders, is that no matter what strategy you use in trading, there's no 100% guarantee that you're going to make money. There will be losses in every strategy. So even the wheel strategy, which overall is a very safe, very profitable options trading strategy, there is still the risk of losing money. And I have lost money. The last 2 months, I have lost money. March is turning out to be a lot better for me now that I'm starting with a semi-clean slate. But March is doing well, but you can still have losses, as you've seen in my last 2 update videos. So that's where I am at, and that's how I'm sitting so far. I'm negative for the year, which again is sort of disconcerting, but I think that I will at least be able to make my goals for the remaining months. At least that's the intention. I'm not so concerned with how much I'm making overall in the year, as long as I'm making my goal each month so I can make these payments on the Tesla. So the last 2 months, I have not been able to. I've been having to do that out of my own bank account, which again, I was prepared to do in the first place. But hopefully I can start using the wheel strategy to start paying those monthly payments. So if you have any questions about this, then go ahead and leave a comment down below or catch me on Twitter at Trading5Talents. And if you want to stay up to date with the trading portfolio and how the wheel strategy is going and how I'm using it to pay off my Tesla, then go ahead and click on the subscribe button and then turn on the notifications so you can catch all the updates. Until next time, trade wisely and take care.